when you say, okay, you have to score 280 in the fourth innings of a test match, and everyone goes, oh shit. Then you say you have to score 280 in the fourth innings of a test match against Australia. Then you go, oh, double shit. Then you say you have to score 280 against Australia in a WTC final. You go, oh my god, elephant shit. Then you say it is South Africa who has to score 280 against Australia in a WTC final. You get giant blue whale shit. Right? That is how insurmountable everything is against this Australian team. It's like that is why this is like a momentous occasion.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review. Can we rock and roll, please?
Hello and welcome to Bits and Pieces episode 170 in an era where sequencing and frequency don't matter anymore. We are finally at the end of a WTC cycle and already at the beginning of a new one. Believe it or not, 5 days after the momentous WTC final, India will be taking on England in the next WTC. And the only constant presence will be Jesha, who was there at the IPL final, the WTC final, and I'm guessing also at the start of India's WTC in England.
Can I please correct you before
Yes,
you
please.
continue? The next cycle starts with Sri Lanka and Bangladesh on the 17th, not on the 20th between India and England.
Are you serious?
Please,
There is no way.
get your facts right.
Wow. Okay. This is epic, dude. I mean, this is brilliant. This is like Test cricket basically channeling its inner Jeff Bezos, saying it's always day one, right? Like it doesn't matter. WTC finals doesn't matter. Tomorrow we'll start another WTC series, which will run for 2 years. Beautiful. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. What a testament to this trophy, which should now just be called the Southern Hemisphere Rules World Cricket Trophy, because it has now been won by New Zealand, apparently, Australia, and South Africa. And unless Zimbabwe magically qualifies to be a test playing nation and wins this, we've pretty much gone around the Southern Hemisphere. They've done this, and it is up to the Northern Hemisphere to take charge now. And leading the charge from the Northern Hemisphere, the man who maxes his life, Max Da Vinci. You're about to take off on a vacation, but you've joined us just before that. Happy Father's Day, and tell us what it feels like to celebrate an Australian defeat.
Happy Father's Day, guys. I mean, like you, right? I've grown up watching cricket in the 90s, and so our team would rarely win, except for one Desert Storm or some like marathon Lakshman Dravid thing and all that. We generally don't have many things to celebrate about. But so all my watching and all has been hating Australia. That has itself been my thing. Like, okay, I don't care who wins. As long as Australia loses, I'm happy. Because my team anyway would never win. So that is how I've been conditioned for almost 2 decades growing up. So now that suddenly my team starts winning and all that, it's like, okay, but it is still an ancillary part of sport, cricket watching, at least for me, is because still the basic primal instinct is whenever Australia loses. More than when India wins a World Cup or the Champions Trophy or the greatest IPL championship and all that. Australia losing is what gives me happiness. Australia losing is what I go to sleep peacefully. I recollect every game, every ball. I watch highlights. I watch it again and again. I talk about it. It is the joyous thing in my life. So that is why I'm here. We're about to leave for vacation. This door may be broken at any time, but I have to come here and gloat about Australia losing. Man, this is such a glory day. The sun is beating down my face. This is life. This is why the sport was even created, to watch Australia lose.
This is beautiful. Like 90s cricket watching Indian male fan is why the prisoner's dilemma is a solved problem. It is like he is going to rat you out. It doesn't matter if I don't win. As long as you lose, I am happy. Right? But throwing it all in your face is the man who has won everything in the last couple of weeks. The man whose analysis has led multiple teams to strategic victories. The Prasanna Lara of the podcast, PGK. How does it feel now that RCB and South Africa have won?
I just want to say that just like how Max, what he feels about Australia, that is how I feel about RCB. But then nobody ever believes me. I just want to say that, let us all grow up, please. Like, I know this joy of watching Australia lose and all is there. It's fine. I get it. But let's also be a little mature. This is like those RWA uncles, no, who are like, forget about India. I'm tracking what's happening in Pakistan. I'm going to forward you all the memes of in Pakistan when weird things happen. Okay, and then you say, yes, sir, but that is Pakistan. But what about us? He said, that's all fine. We are all okay. So Max reminds me of like that kind of an emotion. Can we discuss?
You
Also,
call me RW uncle, you call me Saffron Jetty, whatever you want to call me, machan. Mark Taylor, after that Steve Waugh, then Ricky Ponting, then Michael Clark. That has been one giant thing of hate. It's like when there's one thing in floating somewhere in the ocean, no one giant plastic thing. That is Australia. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. There is no end to it. With nothing, no one knows what anyone can do. Everyone talks about it, everyone acknowledges it, but that thing just doesn't disappear from the earth. That is Australia. No matter what you do, that useless fucking team will come back somehow and they will win. And even worse, they don't care about it also. Like, okay, we win one small IPL, we go, we have stampings, we stop the city. We stop the city, we do all of this because the chief of state is here and the people are crying on the streets, people are celebrating. These bloody guys, they win, as if they want some Kambola in their building. They behave that.
I was actually saying that there were more people waiting for me when I landed in Melbourne for BGT than for Cummins after he won the World Cup.
Exactly. That is why it makes it even more horrible. They win and they don't give a shit about it. Like, this is peak insult, man. I'm telling you, the sport should always be about Australia losing. That is all the sport should be.
At this point, I think I just want to plug Osman Samyuddin's amazing piece that he wrote at the end of the one-day international World Cup called Australia. Basically, I'm paraphrasing it, how Australia is inevitable. The inevitability of Australia and how they will always come and crush your dreams at the very last moment when you think. So in this case, it did not happen. So yes.
This is beautiful because in the second MBA abstraction in this podcast episode already, we are referring to Australia as plastic, right? They are also a great Pacific garbage patch, or Pacific trash vortex in the ocean. But also they are in your balls as microplastics, guys, right? It's not like an abstract concept. They're very like in your balls. So fuck Australia.
I did not see that, but okay.
Not just plastic,
but let's
Tony.
throw
It is, it's actually like roaches. Okay, like they say, like roaches can survive a nuclear holocaust and all that. That is how Australia is. Like, no matter what you do, you take 4 wickets, you think, okay, Head, Labuschagne, all are gone. Some useless guy called Bo Webster. What the fuck is Bo, dude? Fine. Beautiful is a name. TIFUL, you removed out of your name. You named your kid Bo. Then that, first of all, fucking fix your name. Then you come and play the sport. Such a lovely sport from WG Grace is coming. Bo Webster. Guy comes and scores a 50. I told Bisi. Bisi's like, usko kuch dikhta nahi hai. He cannot see the ball. Nothing. I said, 50 marega. That is it. I just know this team is like that, man. Some useless fuck out of somewhere without a proper name will come and score a 50.
I like how you're angry at Bo, but you have nothing to say about Labuschagne. Okay, but yes.
No, 70 for 4. You think, okay, there is a collapse imminent, Smith will somehow do Smith things, but no one else will support him. Bo Webster comes and scores a 50. Like, this is guy from beautiful. The stadium is like, oh no, man, you have no idea. You're only watching on TV. I am watching it live. Guy is totally clueless. Clueless guy scores 60 and takes him to 200. That is what happens, man. Out of somewhere, some useless thing will come. And then, okay, we'll think, fine, 200 only, not bad. These guys will do well. And, Stark and Hazelwood are not getting much purchase. Pat Cummins, it seems. Arey, useless fellow. Guy is third act in one, love story. And that guy is coming and saying 6 wickets for some no joy. No, just like that. Just because he has one giant Superman type smile with blue eyes, he'll take 6 wickets, it seems. And again, 70 lead. Chalo, okay, somehow we said 70 lead, they're going. Then they start bowling. They start taking wickets. Okay, machan, game over. This is done. They're only not even getting 100 lead. This is gone. Mitchell Starka. What is this, da? This is what I'm saying, man. It is just like like a colony of roaches. You stamp one out, one more comes out. You stamp one out, one more comes out. You just don't know. The roaches just keep coming. You just have to give up on humanity and the roaches will take you over. That is how this stupid team is. I don't know why you don't see this.
This is beautiful because I think Bo Webster represents Australia, right? Because Bo, I'm sure He's called Bowie, right? Because like it's not about shortening; it's about making the names cool. And that silliness plus the extent of Bo Webster's wingspan represents how much Australia's influence is, right? So throwing it to the man who went to Lord's and who you can see on screen looks like Amit Shah and wanted to be as close to Jay Shah as possible at Lord's, that he took the non-alcoholic stand, the only non-alcoholic stand available, guys. Let's throw it back to Bits and Pieces episode, some, I don't know, 34, where we reveal that Lord's is actually the one stadium where they allow you to take your own alcohol. Forget buying it retail in the stadium. You can take your own alcohol. Such is this man's dedication to be close to Jay Shah. Not only does he look like Amit Shah, he opted for the non-alcoholic stand. Our man at the
you
ground.
went to Lords to find the dry state. That's what you did. You went to the dry state in Lords.
Guilty as charged. All good.
Yes,
Guilty as
Bisi.
charged. Thank you.
Tell us, the worst day that South Africa had in this test match happened when you were at the stadium.
That is true.
Are you the Professor Snape chanting against, or Quidditch? What is that guy's name? The other guy. The guy who turned out to be Voldemort.
Quirrell.
Whoever he is.
Quirrell.
Machan, sorry, Bisi.
Yes,
Before
Bisi.
you say
Tell
something,
us.
Bisi, darling, one thing I
Yes.
have to say, Bisi. Sorry,
Yes.
I just realized this bloody podcast is a group of panautis. Okay, one bloody panauti goes to MCG. One bloody panauti goes to Wankhede. When Maxwell goes and crushes Afghanistan. One more bloody panauti goes after they bundle out Australia for 200. This panauti goes and gets them out for 130. This is what you guys are.
See, man, Australia wins so often that anyone can be Panoti. You can't identify. Literally, any random person on the road, you can say, were you there at some time in the stadium when Australia was winning? You'll say, yes, that's all. Everyone can become Panoti for Australia.
But to be fair, the only man who was thinking about the WTC more than Temba Bavuma himself was Bisi. And he was manifesting on behalf of Temba for the good part of the last 6 months. Bisi, this win is all yours, man. Despite whatever you did on day 2 at Lord's. Please, tell us your thoughts.
I'll tell you my thoughts, right? This is how the crowd is throughout the 2 days that I was there, at least. So Brother T, Tariq, I was there on day 1, and he's like, the crowd is primarily Australia dominated naturally because, they love them and whatever. Which, Pat Cummins has, like he said, Superman type smile and all. He's supposedly a nice guy, so we should like him. That marginally starts shifting because South Africa have actually done a number on them by getting them all out on day 1. And you suddenly start seeing the number of green jerseys increase on day 2, which then obviously fades away because, my God, they get all out for 138. Anyways, everything is now dependent on this guy, Kagiso Rabada, to turn up again on innings 2. And this is where you actually see the whole crowd suddenly rally behind, and they have all turned up in large numbers to support South Africa. And then they are like, our man is Kagiso Rabada. He gets 2 wickets, and then suddenly he also vanishes. I have fallen into a slumber around T at 3. Tariq's gone for a walk.
So sorry. So when you say that Kagiso Rabada suddenly vanishes, does he vanish in a poof of smoke? White smoke, white powdery smoke? Is it in that kind that he disappears? No.
That is a good line.
He rolls out a cigarette after the final runs were scored. Anyways, so along comes Lungi Ngidi. Okay. Yeah, RCB plug again. And he prizes out 3 insane wickets, and that is where things really turn, to be very honest, because he reduces Australia to 70 for 7. Even though Mitchell Starc and Hazelwood have this insane 10th wicket partnership on day 3, Lungi Ngidi on day 2 is the one who turns the entire game.
That's true, actually. I'm just looking at the scorecard, and Lungi Ngidi is the guy who got the wickets that you think would have been really problematic. Like Steve Smith, he gets Mac's favorite player, Bo Webster. And most importantly, he gets Pat Cummins. So these are the 3 wickets that you know are going to come and screw you over at some point. So
Lungi Ngidi suddenly becomes the darling of our stand. He comes there, waves. It's all good fun. People are saying 70 for 7, and they're like, no, bro, sorted. We are good. We are really in this game. Yeah, obviously that had a few more twists and turns to happen. Not to be, but good that South Africa figured out how to bat by watching Mitchell Starc and Hazelwood bat. They're like, yeah, we can also do this. It took them that inspiration. But yeah, they figured out what to do on the fourth innings. Good for them.
But can we just like put some sort of common factor here and say when India did well in England and when South Africa has like now beaten Australia and England, it's all a question of having a good BEDX in your team. Like
No, it's a question of who your bowling consultant is. Stuart Broad in this case, who spent 2 days with the South African side. Saying, oh, you don't know this? See, there is all. So Max isn't like the only hater, right? There are haters abound.
Yeah. It's called
they're
United
all-
Kingdom. It's called that group is called United Kingdom. It's a country. I don't know if you know.
So there is this whole commonwealth of people minus Australia who hate Australia. They are plying their services. I think he turned up. He's like, I will tell you exactly what to do. Please hire me as bowling consultant. And he spent a good 3 days with them. They were up at some ground in Sussex, which is very beautiful. Arundel or something. It's called.
Alur. Okay. Alur.
So the Allure
Sorry,
of
go on.
UK, he spent
Allure
3
of
days over
UK.
there with the bowlers and then apparently sorted out their lines. He was also on comms during the test saying,
Correct.
and Hados and the others are like, what did you tell them? And he's like, nothing much. Please win this. Otherwise, all of us will be in trauma for the next cycle as well. I had nothing else to contribute.
But he
to
did
that.
say something in the commentary that, like, I'm not supposed to take sides, but I'm smiling
Yeah.
right now, or something like that. He says something.
Something along those lines. Yeah. It was Broad only who said I'm supposed to be non-partisan, but I am smiling right now.
Something
That
like
was
that.
in.
No, but
amazing.
before that-
So, but wait, can we just like? Are you ignoring the power of the
BEDX.
buttocks? Come on. Come on.
Dude, it needed 2 pairs of BEDXs.
The front end is what you get to see, but the back end is the one. Yeah, correct. And Rabada, like
Don't
come on.
ignore. Rabada is, I think Rabada is not in that category, not the Shardul Thakur category. He's not there yet. Bavuma and Ningidi, definitely.
Yeah.
This is our core competence, right? Amongst the CEF cricket podcasts there are. We are the only ones that call attention to the real game changes. In this case, the rating of buttocks of various teams and how Shardul Thakur basically changed the game when he was there last time. And Temba Bavuma. No one's biting. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
No, I'm absolutely sure it is correct. You're right. I have no doubts. Why do you think Shardul is even in the squad after having the shit tournament that he did? He was supposed to be in county so that he can practice for England series. He gets drafted into LSG last minute. So he skips county but still gets called for India, where he again gets thrashed. I have seen him bowl, by the way, in the India game live, and he's garbage. Right? I'm telling you, he's really bad. But he'll get picked. Mind you, he will get picked, and he'll again turn up with a fifer and some crucial 60-odd runs with the tail. That's all because of the BEDX.
Yeah.
Nice. But I mean, I think we should talk like 2 minutes about the test match that just happened, because it was a really good test.
2 minutes is fine.
2 minutes is fine. Because the test match was a lot. It was actually a very good test match. Is it the best WTC? I mean, not like there's a lot. There's only been 3. But out of the 3 that has happened, I think this is the best WTC final. Like the first one with with New Zealand was one random game. Australia, I don't think it was particularly close or interesting. I think it was like they had to finally chase some runs. It got a little exciting. It got a little exciting in the last chase in the beginning when they got like a wicket or 2, and after that it just kind of flattened out, and then they chased it comfortably. Yeah.
How
I
can you
think this
forget?
was the better
Mention
game.
why it got flattened out, man. It was Travis Head and Steve Smith. Why are you forgetting? Name it. Say the name.
Max has already
trauma
tattooed
these
it in like his leg or something. Okay.
No, man. Like if you think about it, like the entire the WTCs, right? Australia was supposed to be get into the first one, but then their overrate snafu happened. I was like, okay, small joys in life, are still there, and so they didn't make the final. New Zealand comes to the final, and then England, being England, gives New Zealand their home conditions, and then Jameson and all that nonsense happens. We like, okay, bye, thank you, take it, go. Then the next one they come. Again they also come. Again we also come. Now also we're like, okay, chalo, we'll see what happened. They are also at first day and all was TK only. Uske baad Umesh Yadav and at T happened, and then Travis had happened, and then that game went wherever it went. Okay. The thing I was talking to someone also was that I hope this time also the same thing happens, wherein it becomes the surface changes against the favorite. Because India was the favorite the first time, the surface went against them. Second time also, you're like, okay, surface went against them because it became completely flat. Now also, let's hope. South Africa's best chance was if the surface reminded them of bowling at Highland or something like that. And that's exactly what happened to them those first 2 days, because when wickets fell. And because it is England and white press and all that, we're not supposed to talk about why 28 wickets fall in 2 days. It is still, satisfactory or whatever.
And then nothing falls on day 3. Nothing falls. Like 28 wickets in 2 days and then it suddenly dies.
And then it becomes a baseball track. So that is, we should not talk about white press, no? We should not talk about those things. Happens in Asia and all. By lunch on day 2 itself, we would have said cancel the test match, shift it to somewhere else.
Dharamshala.
We should not talk about this nonsense. Okay, we will not talk. Everything has happened. Okay, day 2 has happened, day 3 has happened. And then one major thing has happened, is that Steve Smith has dropped a catch. Okay, we are talking about wingspan, this, that, and all that. And our great predictor of predictors, Varun Murli, was telling about something about Steve Smith, that second slip, and that great Steve Smith dropped a catch. Now everyone is behaving as if Mahatma Gandhi drank alcohol and started by eating beef on the roadside or something. Arre, Steve Smith dropped a catch. That means pitch is something wrong. Steve Smith dropped a catch. It is because of the helmet. Steve Smith dropped a catch. No, because the ball came too fast. Steve Smith dropped a catch because he broke his thumb or finger or something nonsense. Steve Smith has to drop a catch. It has to be a trifecta of these great things where the pitch is behaving weird, conditions are a bit overcast, helmet is there, he's some X number of steps forward, it seems. So his reaction time reduced by something, it seems. Therefore, he dropped a catch, it seems.
I think there is context to where he was standing, by the way. The pitch was...
Teri maa ka context.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Who cares, man? Guy drops a catch. That's it. Okay? Everyone drops a catch. But Steve Smith dropped a catch. Everyone's talking, oh my God. And no one wants to address the issue that Steve Smith dropped a catch. We want to find reasons why Steve Smith dropped a catch. And we have also done this, okay? Even in your lower couples, you'll drop a catch, you'll either look at the sky saying the sun is in your eye, or you'll do this saying that it hurt you very badly. Steve Smith was same thing he did. Oh, he started doing things, his hand is hurt. And then they put on covering saying that, okay, no, apparently he's dislocated. Anyway, he doesn't have to bat. They can get that chota packet into the field. So they sent him away and they released one press note saying that no, he has dislocated something and all that nonsense. Ye sab nahi hota, okay? You dropped a catch. That is it. End of the day. And then, had Steve did not drop the catch, they would have won. Dhakkan kya aulad. If Jansen had not dropped that catch, you would not have reached this much also. Okay? No one wants to talk about that. Jansen drops an absolute dolly end of the day. No one wants to look at that. And then they're talking about if Steve Smith had not done, we would have won the match. Nothing doing. First had Jansen not, your game itself would have ended there. You would have stopped 60 runs ahead. The game would have finished at lunch. It would have not gone before that also. Useless idiots. I'm telling you, man, this useless team, so thakela they are.
So, PCK, one of the things that we didn't reference in how much you are close to Prasanna Lara is the most obvious connect, which is...
Is it Aishwarya Rai?
You would leader.
Okay.
Is how much both of you would rather record a podcast with R. Ashwin than us, right? And in some senses, this test again reminded us of India and South Africa, right? Where basically India, after the first 3 innings, should have won, right? Like a couple of matches that they lost. And then South Africa, thankfully no Dean Elgar this time, but again, another gritty captain doing nonsense things. R. Ashwin, again, not in the game. Okay, he was playing those 2 games, but he was not playing here. But still, not in the game at all. What did you make of this? Is Test match really replica of life itself, or is it just a random shootout of 4 innings when it comes to something like this?
No, I think what's happening, there are these. I think, remember, we were talking about this a year and a half back. Suspiciously, there are a lot of these test matches where the whole script gets ulta, where it bemes really difficult to bat in the beginning.
This is where Nitin Sundar, please splice in where R. Ashwin says, suspiciously Mumbai Indians suddenly things going in their favor. Suddenly power cut is happening.
I don't even know what the conspiracy is. I don't even know what the outrage. Anyway, leave that. So, now I was saying that there is this set of test matches over the last 2 years where they were saying that, why has this whole script been flipped? Previously, it used to be harder to bat as it goes down. Now it's very easy to bat in the beginning. Then it flattens out that by the end, nobody can get any wickets. And for a while, first they blamed India for this. First they said this is an India problem. Only India is going through this. And because Indian bowlers for some reason are not able to get wickets in the 4th inning. By the way, it's not just Ashwin. Okay, I know we pick on Ashwin, but there were other bowlers. There were 4 other bowlers in that team also. Okay, so let's not go there. So, but I do agree that I think one of those tests, at least in South Africa, he was clearly not. I don't think he was effective at all. The conditions were totally against him. But anyway, but one he bowled badly. But I think now what has happened is this has started to become more common, and it for some reason it has started to become more common, and this virus has started to spread in all other kinds of places. Most notably, it came in India when India were playing New Zealand at that test in Chinnaswamy, the first test in that 3-test series. Same thing happens. They come, normally you think, oh, first innings, India wins the toss. India gets 46 all out. Of course, conditions becomes suddenly like Mount Maunganui. Yeah, it becomes Mount Maunganui in like near MG Road. Okay, for some reason. Then you're like, okay, why is it like this now? Sure, they get 46 all out. Then New Zealand come and bat well. Then by the time India comes to bat, pitch is flat, Sarfaraz is smashing, Pant is smashing. Then they change the ball. And now suddenly everyone is gone again. 5, 6, 7 wickets, boom, 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 they collapse. And then when these guys come back to bat, again, it's awesome to bat again. So this virus is spreading everywhere.
I like how we've collectively resolved to forget that fifth test against England, which happened a year later.
Yes.
And the same thing happened where like Bairstow basically
Bairstow smashed this thing.
The fourth innings. 430.
No, but this
something.
Duke's ball thing, no, is a real thing, because that's happened in the Ashes also. They changed the Duke's ball and then it changed different. Now also when Bavuma and these guys are batting, our geniuses are trying to change that ball. They kept asking them to change the ball. Umpire is putting it through. It's like, no, it's going through. It is going through. It is going through. Finally, towards like what, after like 65 overs or something, it didn't go through. Then they said, okay, fine, we'll give you a different ball. They were also dead badly trying to change the ball, because they had this whole theory that if you change the Duke's ball, something will happen. You will get previous batch ka Duke's ball and it will start doing things.
I was going to say, this is now interesting in the 5-test series that's coming up, because if we knew that this disease was there in South Africa, the country, we knew that it is there in England, it came to India. For some reason, it hasn't happened in Australia as much. In these three countries, this tests where it becomes difficult to bat at first, or then it becomes easier, fattens out ball, some shit keeps happening. So it'll be good for the 5-test series. Sorry, go on.
Once again, you know why this disease is not eradicated now? It is because now Robert F. Kennedy is in charge of vaccine research.
Don't throw shade on my great country, okay? We'll put a tariff on your ass. We'll tariff your bloody Chintu cable. No, one more thing that struck me about the Steve Smith drop. Sorry, I'm not past that. I'm still there only. Is that guy dropped a catch after so long and all that, and it is so perplexing, bewildering, surprising, amazing and all that, is because guy did not have sandpaper in his hands. There was not enough grit.
Fine. Okay, listen. This is done.
You had more grit, you could have held on to that ball.
Fine. Since you've come back to this topic twice, finally, Bisi, just give context now. That he did not let you give 10 minutes back. Okay, now might as well give it now.
I would really want to give context. See, this pitch was unusually slow for a Lord's track. Unusually, like throughout. And it kept getting worse, because the prime example of that is Markram playing Lion off the back foot throughout. Like throughout. He just wouldn't press forward and play him. He would play him off the surface.
Can we just put a clang here and say this is the first time we've mentioned Markram in this episode recording?
Player of the WTC finals.
It's also the first time you mentioned this useless nylon fellow, okay? His competition is retired. Guy now doesn't give a shit anymore. He doesn't need to take wickets anymore. Now he'll only be the highest spinner. So he doesn't no effort he wants to put. Fourth innings, third innings, I will not bowl. What do you want to do? That fellow anyway is retired and making YouTube videos. Mere ko kya hai?
Sam Constas came on this episode before Markram. So please let me go back to Markram. The pitch was very slow.
So what was happening? This guy, when Stark also was batting in the second attempt of Australia, he edged some 3-4 balls off Bavuma, off Ngidi, and they would consistently keep falling short of the slip cordon. So there was this whole discussion around. Oh, sorry, Rabada and Ngidi. My bad.
We all looks the same to you.
What did he say?
I said
Bavuma.
Off Bavuma and Ngidi. And so there was, what happened on the morning of day 3 was these guys all started practicing their slip cordons with a helmet and all that, where they would be much closer. So Khwaja on first slip was actually ahead of Alex Carey, which is very unusual for the position of a first slip, because you typically reference the position of the wicketkeeper before taking your slip positions. And as a result, at second slip, Smith was very, very close to a 140, 142 km per hour delivery from Stark, and it came insanely quickly. Nobody could have taken it.
Mia, tum sab bhul gaye. Markram also wore a helmet and came on second slip, okay? In the previous inning.
But ball didn't come to him, no?
Une kara na. Isko kya hua na?
And that ball nahi aaya na.
That is not my problem. Une kara na.
Okay, so not only have we discussed Constance before Markram, the first time we are discussing Markram's fielding in second slip. Okay.
Okay,
Great.
PGK.
Yes.
As the one out of the four of us who is most likely to have read Jared Kimber, who talks about Aiden Markram as having grown up on a diet of beef with chicken as his salad, why don't you talk us through
I actually don't
that
know,
stellar-
but I don't know about Jared Kimber, what you written about this thing. But I did see some couple of stuff today. There was a couple of things that I saw today about how Aiden Markram was drafted in to the South Africa team because I think he was the captain of the under 19, which kind of wins or does. Because apparently they said that the one thing that made him distinctive from all the other younger South Africans was he was able to score runs in pressure situations. And as we know, South Africa really cares about who can perform in pressure situations. Whoever can, please come into this team and maybe we will win a World Cup. So I think they had spotted this with him because he did that in the under 19 final. They also said in another, I think 2015 or some other game, they basically said he played really well. So, but he, for some reason, even that he could not convert or something. So in this case, finally it was like, oh, the promise has finally delivered. Of Markram
He's
finally.
basically the Sanju Samson of South Africa.
Manifesting 2027.
He is the clutch player, as they say. All right. So the clutch finally came and Markram finally played and it was good. But it was a great innings. It was very, very well played. And there is always this stuff about South Africans. Of course, they talk about whatever, choking and all that, but they also, like, even spin. Like, he was playing Lion so well. And Lion was getting a lot of purchase by the end. But he was playing so well. Like, even Bisi said, like,
घंटे का परचेस विकेट नहीं लिया उन्हें.
no, he was playing from like he's right. Bisi
Back
was
foot.
correct. He was not playing from the back foot completely. He was playing, and you don't generally see South Africans playing spin so well, which I thought was like very good.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
And I think
will say-
it was a marked difference also between the
Yes.
first innings of South Africa and the second one. The first innings, they just shut shop. Everybody was blocking, and they were 40 in 30 overs for the loss of 4 wickets. So they were going
Correct.
nowhere with that
Correct.
innings. Second
Correct.
innings was markedly different, and they obviously it shows
No, they were going at 4 and over. They were going at 4 and over
immediately.
and that was a huge difference. And here's the thing, right? Credit must be given is that when you say, okay, you have to score 280 in the 4th innings of a test match, and everyone goes, oh shit. Then you say you have to score 280 in the 4th innings of a test match against Australia. Then you go, oh, double shit. Then you say you have to score 280 against Australia in a WTC final. You go, oh my god, elephant shit. Then you say it is South Africa who has to score 280 against Australia in a WTC final. You get giant blue whale shit. Right? That is how insurmountable everything is against this Australian team. You know, it's like that is why this is like a momentous occasion. If today was Good Friday, I would be even more happier. Like this is what it is. You know, the Lord has risen. We have gotten the best thing that has happened. Australia has been trounced in a game where everyone was like, this is a formality. India has not come. England is not even in the reckoning. This is a mere formality. We'll finish this.
If India had come and any of these situations had played out, it was a formality only. They were not competing in innings 4. No ways.
No, but everyone, this
Okay,
test
quick.
is going to finish in 2 days. And after, everyone was like, this is gone. I don't know why they're even playing. Okay, hope that it goes into day 3. Hope some of the weekend tickets, you know, people come and at least watch. Hey, that's how that entire narrative was. It's like, this is like a done cause. Let's start looking at what's going to happen next. They're talking about some West Indies tour that Australia is going to go and all that nonsense, right? What will be the team makeup for that? And, you know, will they try to get any new players? Will they try to see Bo Webster here because they want to use him for the West Indies tour? That is what they did. This is like a foregone conclusion. And then from under them, they come, stick their finger up their butt and twirl it in the air and pull it out. That is what is so nice.
Max, can you check your
Quick,
door? Someone's there.
Quick fact check here. Good Friday is not when Jesus rose. It is when he was crucified. But I'm guessing, Max,
Sorry.
when you are imagining
religion.
Jesus, you are picturing Jason Gillespie. So it is opposite that you feel like Good Friday is a good day because Jason Gillespie would have been nailed to the cross.
Was
So,
crucified.
all good. Can we just focus on one important detail? Is that Bisi, as the winner
Yes.
of our friend Tariq Laskar's multiple quizzes, Harsha Bogle compared Temba Bavuma to Sia Kolisi a couple of days before the win was pulled off. How momentous is this for Temba Bavuma? And let's not forget, this is a team that has practically sort of seen Test cricket fall out of its reckoning. I think Heinrich Klaasen was the last one to call quits from Test cricket like a few days ago. South Africa
All
literally
international
had to win, I think, 6 out of 7 or something to make the finals. They've now won 8 out of 8. A lot of it is down to leadership in chaotic times, much like Nelson Mandela, Sia Kolisi, and now Temba Bavuma. So, can you channel your inner Harsha Bogle and tell us what this actually means from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, I cannot wax eloquent enough about Temba Bavuma. I mean, what a guy. He's sitting on that balcony with his feet up and his side is getting 138 all out. He's unmoved. And even when they score the winning runs, he's just sitting there. Everybody around him is like full. So I think this is like, I think somebody compared this to Dhoni saying we will not celebrate winning against Australia because now this is the norm. And just because we celebrate, they shouldn't think that it's a big deal for them.
This was amazing because in his interview during the presentation, he actually said, lots of people have been saying how we got to the finals by playing, the less
teams which
strong
don't matter.
teams.
Yeah.
And now that we've had a chance to beat it. Yeah. So I think that's great, right? Like understated awesomeness.
And more importantly, how he is on the field. He really doesn't seem to react even when things are not going well. He wasn't very, in the ear of the bowlers at all, even when Stark and Hazelwood were batting. It's all about.
So we are saying compare and contrast Temba Bavuma and R. Ashwin. Basically, they are like polar opposites at this point in time.
No, but speaking of R. Ashwin, there was R. Ashwin representation at the stadium. If you watch the fielding of Usman Khwaja, he was nicely escorting the balls to the boundary ropes in very reminiscent fashion so that we don't miss Ashwin. And Nylon was doing the same thing of not taking wickets in the fourth inning. So they were all, doing hat tips to R. Ashwin in there.
And just to close out my
Okay.
discourse on this thing on
please.
Temba Bavuma, I think the whole talk about reservation on black players playing for South Africa and what he brings to the table, I think if you keep that politics aside, I think he's a decentish batter, but he just turns up when it's most needed. He's been very consistent for them throughout this WTC and then played through a hamstring injury in that second innings as well. But more importantly, I think he gets people to play, and he's open about stuff like, Rabada got himself into trouble, but he turned up for us. He will be part of the ICC Hall of Fame. You don't talk very openly about these things, not from the country that we are at least. They're like, oh, don't talk about these things. So I think that's very refreshing to see. Very happy that he won. Nobody would give them that chance before the game, but he's like, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. We'll give it our best
Bisi,
shot
like,
and we'll see what happens.
what neither our listeners nor our viewers can see is that your display name is actually Temba Bavuma, which is basically what the crowd was chanting to
Singing.
the tune of the Seven Nation Army thing, right? Like, as someone who was at the stadium, what does it take for the crowd to like be chanting your name, and like how does Temba Bavuma feature even as Aiden Markram is scoring more of the runs, right?
It's all about the tougher runs, right? I think because he's hobbling around, because he's deciding that, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to hang around over here. He could have taken that option very well. I mean, but you see the kind of batters who followed. I mean, what was Verena trying to do to scoop that one run? You're trying to scoop it behind. Anyways, so I think basically it stems from the fact that who can you rally around as a crowd, right? You need that one performer to just feel that, oh, are South Africa in this contest? Who can I rally around? And we as supporters, I think they found KG Rabada in the first day. So it was all KG Rabada on day one. It was Lingi Mingidi when I woke up from my slumber. then it naturally revolved around Temba Bavuma when he was batting, because he was doing all the hard yards in terms of negotiating the batters, while Markram was rock solid, man. I was brilliant.
No, given the way Rabada was bowling the first, Ingidi was bowling the first innings where he went for like more than 5 runs and over. When Bisi woke up, maybe he thought I'm still dreaming, because how is Ingidi suddenly taking wickets? I'm still in my dream.
JCB. Me and Brother T did that, and we were sorted for life. Nobody else around us got the context, but it's fine.
No, but like
so moving on
talks about everyone's talking about this thing that they won these insignificant games and all that nonsense, but they were dealt they played the cards they were dealt.
Yeah.
More to the fact that why this is even more awesome is that generally, we say like Australia doesn't care about these wins. It is the second most popular sport in their country. Footy is what everyone watches. No one shows up at the airport. South Africa went one up on that. It's like, we don't care about WTC. We don't care about WTC. We will send our B team, C team to New Zealand for a test match. We don't care. What WTC? Who wants this WTC nonsense? Let us play SA20. Let us do some proper cricket. And then that team, which gives up two games in New Zealand, then comes storming into the final, winning 6 on the trot, is lovely, and then trounces in Australia, man. Chef's kiss. Now let us talk about Markram.
Now, whatever you want to talk about. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think it's done. It's good. I think I'll only say with Temba Bavuma that I think the main things, like I know Bisi said, even if you remove the reservation and quota and all that, I'm just like one word there, which is he's South Africa's first black batter, and which was a very important thing for them because for a long time they had black representation inside the team, but there was always this sort of the simmering under belief that, well, maybe black South Africans can bowl really well, but there's no reason to think maybe they can't bat yet. And we don't have a black South African batter, which, by the way, is not, and that becomes a little more, that tension becomes a little more bigger because there are great black batters. So if you look at the West
Elsewhere,
Indies, I mean,
yeah.
elsewhere there are great. So it's nothing to do with, so it is just that they were saying, so it wasn't, obviously it was partly a racial thing, but it was also, they were saying like, well, maybe there is something wrong with South African black people who can't bat. So
Can't
that rest or can't perform, exactly. And I think they've not had anyone. I think the last person they had was, I guess he was like half black, perhaps, is Keegan Peterson, who really screwed India over in that one fucking test match. Yeah, where the one that Kohli screamed at the stumps and Ashwin is screaming and like Super Sport is against that particular test. Very annoying. But after that, I've never seen him play. So clearly he did his thing and left.
Okay, and so, he did Kolpak, I think.
Yeah, then I think he must have done something. But anyway, so I think in that aspect, for Temba Bavuma to come and win so publicly as a captain, as a batter, very cool. Very nice.
I think statistically speaking, nobody was giving them a chance, which is fine. But just to be able to turn up and compete against this Australian side is credit where it's due, right? You can't say
Correct.
that any other side would have done this. You would be blown away if you concede a 70-run lead to Australia in your first innings. You're pretty much done. That is where the game is done.
And enough people were like, oh my God, these are the 3 heads of the dragon, all those.
Yeah.
But yeah, Markram is like, you come, man.
Come, let's see what happens.
No, but can we agree that Bavuma hobbling on one leg and getting the trophy is much better than has won up Maxwell's versus Afghanistan as the greatest one-leg innings? Can you please?
I don't know.
No.
Sorry.
It's
Definitely
no. You're 3 against 1. 3 dragon heads against 1 dragon head. So.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll let Australia keep this one.
No, but I mean, to be honest, like the pitch had flattened out.
Single leg best test innings. Okay, can we say that?
Take
Like,
I mean,
has Ashwin ever hobbled in Chennai when he scored 100?
Okay.
Can I ask that?
Single leg best test innings by a South African, or
Very
single leg best test innings by a black South African batter. At least that you can give.
okay,
take happy holidays, Max.
So I think this is a great segue to move on, because what is single leg is actually the WTC finals, right? Which is a weird format in of itself. And we've spoken about, surfaces going against teams in the 4th innings and things going against Surfaras, which we'll come to eventually. But can someone explain to me why the fuck are the next 3 WTC finals also going to be in England? Like, what is Jesha doing there? Like, what is happening, guys?
Jesha voted against Jesha, man. That was quite amazing.
Tony
he
completely blacked out for me. Is it for you as well?
Yes.
I'm supporting South Africa.
Yeah, just because South Africa won. Yeah, okay.
No, I just want to make sure like it's by design and not by my internet or something.
No, but can someone explain to me why are the next few WTC finals also going to happen in England, guys? Like, the headline read, BCCI finds it difficult to convince ICC.
Karthik calling Karthik. Same, no? Smruti.
No, the real question that worth asking is, what did India and BCCI get in exchange for this? Obviously, England would have asked for it and said, we want this. But is it fine, Macha? You keep it, but give us something they would have asked for.
We'll find out soon enough, no?
We'll find out soon enough.
We'll find out soon
Or
enough.
is the tactical calculation that England will never make the WTC final anyway? So you can have it in.
Always neutral venue.
I think
It
the
it was either England or Zimbabwe. These were the options.
Yeah. But I mean, my real conspiracy theory, not conspiracy theory, but my most pessimistic view of the whole thing is that I think they've just said, we don't want it. It anyway comes at the tail end of the IPL. Now you want us to prepare one test match pitch in India for you after the end of like 2 months of IPL. No need. It's okay. You only keep it. So it's fine.
Okay, so what I really wanted to talk about was, do you know how many test matches happen in a WTC cycle?
Wait, I'll
Not
tell you.
enough.
On an average, each team plays somewhere between 10 to 12. There are 8 teams. This is a cat question. Okay, so
He's doing.
okay, I'll tell you. Close to 50, 45 to 50.
Yeah, no, so in the last 3 editions, there have been 67, 68 and 69 matches.
Okay,
Include the
fair,
final
higher.
and add one more. But what this brings about the question, right? Like, everyone finds it easy to diss the WTC format. And I am the only one who apparently follows the points table till India gets randomly knocked out.
eliminated.
But I don't mind the format per se, right? That it goes on for 2 years and you find some context and meaning and allow everyone, all test playing nations, to be equally represented. But what I'm not particularly chuffed about is necessarily the finals format, right? So if you were to sort of, let's say, have a free hand and design the WTC, whether the league stages or the finals, any thoughts on how you would improve it?
For finals, definitely best of 3 over an entire month.
Yeah.
But
I would say
I
finals
don't really
best
know
of
how to
3.
get around the.
One in this case, one in South Africa, one in Australia, and then one in England.
That's too much. That's
like
logistically
Champions
impossible
League,
to pull off.
man. Proper Champions League
See,
stuff.
first of
Home
all,
leg, away leg, neutral leg. Temba Bavuma has only one leg. Let's not forget.
Tony, you have to first schedule IPL. You have to see how many days IPL is going to take. It's going to take 90 days or 94. It's going to extend to some X number of games, 20 more games or something. Okay, you have to first take that. Then you have to see whatever is left in this useless thing in this country called summer, when it is not going to rain. Then you have to take one small window you'll get. Each May they will say, no, we have to play Wimbledon, this thing and all is there, so we cannot give that window also. So what windows you're having for them poor chaps? One test only you'll get, that's all.
No,
First
No,
of
no.
all,
okay.
1 second.
WTC final itself is a nothing. Their whole thing is you have the FTP you have the tours which countries will decide. On top of that, I will then say, okay, because you have made an FTC, I will arbitrarily put one start and end by counting 60 games in between and say, okay, now this is one tournament.
This is an easier problem to solve, is that in any WTC cycle, India is playing maximum 2 out of 3 of Australia, England and South Africa, right? And between these 2 of 3, you basically have to have 8 to 10 tests, right? And the rest, against Bangladesh and all, you do 2 test series. Against New Zealand, you do no test series. And say, please,
No.
can we not play?
But the main thing is, ICC is not setting these stores. Every country is deciding, "Arey, main aayega, tu aja, main jaun." And then their ICC is only coming arbitrarily in the calendar. I will put one start and one end. So they have no control over who is playing whom, how many times. When you don't mandate that, then what? The final is a farce. Now you just want to come and say final must have structure. Arey, your entire WTC itself does not have structure. People can play.
I am
reversing
reversing roles to say, as a cribbing cricket fan who doesn't appreciate WTC or WTC finals, how would you structure it if you had free will?
I'm actually with Tony to the extent that, I mean, I'm also trying to be more practical rather than, like, obviously I would otherwise do this thing where everyone plays a fixed number of games against each other and all that. But I'm being more practical and say, okay, fine. Even if they play it like this format isn't particularly bad. It's a good format. It's not
works.
particularly bad. It's fine. I think maybe the only thing I would do is, as the finals, maybe I would do it into a 3-test series in one venue, or one test here, a home, away. I think at least a 1-test home and a 1-test away can easily be done. That shouldn't be that hard.
If you
Away
don't know,
runs.
if you are
Away runs. This is where we are going to.
Away wickets.
Chalama, you're such a distinguished journalist and MBA brain and all that. If you don't know you're going to be in the final up to 2 months before the final, how are you going to then say, okay, now we're logistically going to have pitches prepared in the countries where the finalists are?
It's one test, dude. They can make pitches one-off test for Tendulkar they made, no? For him to retire. Why can't they make one-off test once every 2 years?
Every time you'll call Hank, what? You'll call Hank and say, come lay one pitch here and go. What is this?
But there is a shortage of pitches in India, is it? Where to play? I mean, like literally from Dharamshala to Alur, you can play anywhere.
I know, but you just said, right? They had to prepare a pitch between out of the
Sorry.
season and all that.
In India, there is only one test venue, that is Narendra Modi Stadium. It has 20 pitches. Easy peasy. No problem. Can be
Okay,
done.
fine.
Easily
Nobody
done.
gets to crib about WTC anymore. No solutions.
Yeah.
I have
No,
never cribbed about WTC the format.
Yeah,
It
I
is
am
what it
perfectly
is.
okay with the format. I don't
It
have a
has
problem with the
brought it
format.
has brought context to most of the test matches. You don't
Yeah,
try and play for
absolutely.
draws anymore. I think that is a win.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is what it is, right? Like fixing the final is not. If you want to fix, you fix at the schedule, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to fix the final. But schedule is not in your control. Final mattam you'll want to be in your control, and then they're getting one-off test in England itself is a big deal. So yeah, take it.
Max,
and go.
you when you say fix, you mean as in the schedule, not the result. Like with given who is
Jesha
heading
likes
ICC, we can.
Because Jesha was at the
Interesting.
venue.
Come on, let's go to India, my friends.
Yes.
5 test series. By the way, sorry, before anything else, this is the
One second.
preview for the test series, no? The England test
Better
series
be.
is
we
happening
can
on
make it.
20th.
That's happening.
We
yes.
can make it, okay. No, I'm saying it's less than a week away. It's 5
No,
days away, no?
Before that, we had to do Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. That's Bisi part.
Come on,
Okay, fine.
guys.
Finish your coda of Aiden Markram. We have discussed. You want to discuss? You discuss. No?
Aiden Markram was resolute. He stood against that three-headed dragon. He slayed the shit out of it. God, he deserves every bit of credit. He deserves the beer he had on the ground. He deserves that. And the thing was about I was telling this about PGK the other day, right? PGK is this dark villain who doesn't drop character no matter what, right?
About
He has had
PGK.
this-
Okay.
Yeah. I'll draw the parallel. You'll see it coming back.
I
You know,
hope so.
he's had this PGK has had this facade of being an Ashwin fan for like a greater part of 2 to 3 years now, where he's an absolute troll. Like he hates the guy. He's like, what the useless guy is like, not even shouldn't be playing the game. But he will put on this great facade of I am the greatest Ashwin fan. You know, it's like Prasanna Hatiye Merko Betna type of thing he will do. And guy doesn't drop character no matter what. Yesterday, there was a slip in character when that great video of Ashwin's fielding in TNPL and him bullying umpires kind of surface. He dropped character briefly. But Aiden Markram did not drop character. Okay. Aiden Markram did not drop character throughout his innings. Right from the time he came and he punched that first ball out, he did not drop character. He was hitting Stark down the track, did not drop character. He was not smiling. Had steel resolve on his face. Guy scores a century, just walks up, lifts his bat, and that is it. Doesn't punch the air, doesn't do a backflip or a somersault or whatever these useless guys are doing nowadays. Doesn't remove a handkerchief out of his pocket or, doesn't take a handkerchief out, doesn't take a paper slip out, doesn't point to his
blow
label.
kisses to his wife and
Kisses
all.
and
Okay,
whoever.
loser. Okay, yeah.
Doesn't show his label, nothing. Guy just acknowledges the crowd. And even Bavuma is like, okay, this guy should I even go and hug him? Bavuma also standing. So Bavuma is standing still at there and he has not even come to him. And finally, when this guy turns, Bavuma is okay, I think it's okay to go hug him now. And Bavuma goes hug. He just hugs and where is this? He sits, he's back again. After day's play also. Day's play, everyone's giving him shake hand, this thing and all. Guy is just like, okay, thank you. He walks. And now that you have that entire video of, they're showing people walking that up the entire
Up the pavilion.
Yeah, guy is walking just like that, like no, nothing has happened. He's like walking up like a night watchman. I have just come up, just came to back 5 minutes ago. I am going back again. I don't know. I mean, if there was camera inside the change room and he's
There
taking,
was.
shower and all.
There was.
When he's taking shower and also he must have been the same thing. We don't know.
No.
I'm saying, we don't know. Like
Yeah.
cold showers or whatever these guys take. I don't know, man. Ice bath, something and all. Nonsense, whatever. But guy did not change his expression, did not drop character. He was exactly the same. And next day he shows up, he bats, he becomes out, 6 runs to win. Even then, guy is just going back exactly the same way. Climbs up all the steps. Nothing, man. That guy was like, I am in total Zen mode today. This is like, I am batting somewhere else. This is a different tournament. This is not a final. My team is not South Africa. Australia is not the opponent. He was somewhere else. He was like, I am batting in some school playground against my school friends. I have just had to play. If I become out, then mommy will come and take my bat away. Guy is not leaving the bat. He's somewhere else. That is the only way I can explain what I saw that yesterday. No, the last 2 days. The guy was chanceless, and everything was chanceless, man. At least Bavuma, was giving chances, and catches were dropping short of zips. Guys were taking catches, and then people are giving explanations for why it got dropped and all that nonsense. But this guy's, he didn't give him that chance also. Chanceless, completely. Even every shot was kissing the ground on the grass. It was not like some lofted shot is just going one drop and in, and someone just missed a catch. नहीं 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 तेरी माँ का भोसड़ा, तेरे को चांस ही नहीं देगा मैं.
कौन Jared Wimber यार इधर please transcribe this and publish, man.
In part 3, in this particular bits and pieces episode of Can I Replace Humans, right? I've basically opened the thesaurus page for Resolute, and we can just sum up what Max said as Aiden Markram was adamant, bold, courageous, obstinate, persistent, relentless, serious, staunch, steadfast, strong, stubborn, tenacious, uncompromising, unflinching, unshakable, unwavering, and unyielding. I think that's a fair summary of what he said.
He was everything, man. Guy was everything. And again, going back to what I said, scoring 280 against Australia in a final, this three-headed dragon, man, what? Sorry, Bisi.
Max, I agree with everything except this comparison to PGK's play acting theatric chops. That's the only thing I don't get. But everything else is spot on.
Guy didn't drop character. He was just there. You could never tell that guy is, has anything. Because he has played so many other tournaments. He has seen heartbreak. He has been in that T20 World Cup. He's been everywhere. He knows this. This is what happens. This is what happens to South Africa in these moments. Even when 50 runs were required, they can still mess up. Like the day ended, and I myself was saying, right, morning, Cummins will take 6 wickets for 60, and they'll have 10 runs to win, and Rabada and Lungi Ngidi will be trying to score those 10 runs with 7 men around the bat. It can happen. That is South Africa. This is Australia. That is exactly what happens. And he stood there, ensured that doesn't happen. That it was like
update, guys.
This is not happening today.
Update. ChatGPT has suggested an alternative pop culture reference summary to this, where it is saying that Aiden Markram was basically radiant brilliance, or Teja mein hu, Markram idhar hai. Now that is done.
Tejasvi tum ho, Surya idhar hai. Wow.
Lovely. कितने तेजस्वी लोग हैं यहाँ पे. Okay, moving on to our panelist whose display name you can't see, but which says MRF in brackets Prince, is PGK, who will lead us into the preview of the next WTC cycle. I think he might skip Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think we should probably
PGK take it.
We should probably spend No, nothing. I think we should spend some time talking about the official kickoff of the next WTC cycle.
Selector Mohan ke ditched this meeting.
Selector, as always, press is alone asking questions. Nobody does press conference these days. Okay. It has been X number of days since press conferences happened. Anyway, all right. So
this is like the chart, no, in the factory. Number of days since last accident.
Number of days.
6 Sigma.
Yeah. Anyway, 5-test series, India against England starts, I believe, on the 20th of June. On Friday. That's correct. It starts on the 20th of June. We have a new captain. His name is Shubman Gill. So the thing is that Shubman has basically taken over as captain, and as you can imagine, a lot of people are not very convinced. But I think the thing that he has done in order to convince people that he really is the next era is he gets this.
He's clean shaven.
He's clean shaven, of course, because that's a break from the past. And the second thing that he does is he says, I am basically continuation of this lineage. So he gets MRF sticker on his bat. And everyone knows that if you are MRF sticker and you bat at number 4 for India, you are the next big thing. So he puts MRF sticker, but just so that people get the message and they don't miss it. Under the MRF sticker is printed Prince, Prince, right? And so a lot of people are very upset and saying that you think Tendulkar put MRF picture and then put God, or you think Kohli put MRF picture and put King. You are putting MRF and putting Prince. So the article, the news story that I read said that it was unclear whether MRF printed the sticker and put Prince and gave it to him, or if Gill added Prince himself. Whichever one was done, it doesn't seem to have a very good look. Okay.
No, this is a brilliant visual. Imagine Gill sitting down on his bat, putting on a stencil, taking out, drawing it out, or like taking out a mini drafter, like saying,
exactly.
"Dad, you wanted me to be an engineer. Here is where I."
And Ashwin is teaching him, move it up. It's like you have to put it in this angle. I'll show you. Watch my YouTube video. Here, watch this YouTube video. It is there. I've already done it. Oh, yeah, too much fun. Okay.
So wait, before
Sorry,
this,
continue.
who was Gill's bat sponsor?
I don't know.
He didn't have a sponsor for a very long time.
See,
That is true, actually. Yeah.
He never had a sponsor for a very long time when he just made it to the senior team. And I think it was this thing, Siet.
no, C8 would have been Shreyas Iyer and Rohit Sharma, no?
It's true because in March 2025, there is a story that says that Shubman Gill has signed a deal with MRF as his new broad sponsor. He was signed by his previous sponsor, Siet, during his under 19 days, and his association finally ended during the ongoing ICC Champions Trophy 2025, which is why in the Champions Trophy, he probably did not have a sponsor.
It is Siet.
Interesting.
It was correct. Okay. Fine.
So what is the preview? What are we saying about the series?
So, is there a new MRF ZLX ad with Shubman Gill?
We'll know soon enough.
Okay, never mind. I think we should just very quickly talk about India's batting,
Playing
India's
11.
bowling. India's playing 11, fine, whatever. They'll play 11. But what do we broadly think of India's batting, India's bowling? What is at stake for India and for England?
The only thing we can say for sure is that Sarfaraz is not getting a game. Poor guy.
Yeah. Poor fellow.
He scored a century in the intra-squad game, by the way. Which
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
happened.
there-
Yeah,
I
there
didn't
was-
know.
Yeah.
a closed door
Yeah.
intra-squad game where Sarfaraz scored 100. I don't know.
I
for
didn't
what
know this
charge.
was an intra-squad game because there was a beautiful picture of actually like textbook perfect drive from KL Rahul as the cover picture of that. I didn't realize that it was intra-squad.
The real prince, the prince who was promised, the real one. Let's talk. I like it. I like this war of succession going on. Yeah, I think the only real thing is that look, expectations are low for India, which is for the first time, which almost never
Why
happened.
did we threw out Rohit and Kohli? No, this should be
Yeah.
like best era.
Well,
I think that's the only difference, right? I think both who are I think now laggards in the test squad, we have gotten rid of them. So we should be a much sharper unit if we have selected the
Okay.
right team.
let's find out.
Let's
Let's find
see.
out.
Yeah,
But-
let's find out.
But I think the main thing is, I guess, both teams are at interesting points. First is India is of course starting a new era because they don't have Rohit and Kohli anymore. England are also starting a new era because they have a question that they have to answer, which is should we continue doing baseball or not?
No.
That is their
no,
new
no,
era.
no. That is never a question that is going to come up. Out of syllabus. We continue. Baseball, Zindabad. No ways.
Fine. Okay. But I guess those are the two main things that both these countries are like trying to figure out. Who is the captain for England? Wow, this is how bad.
Ben Stokes.
Oh, he's back?
Max, today being Father's Day, what does your father think of the
Nice.
New England where they've sort of come out and said, yeah, we need to shut up in press conferences or we need to be more humble or some of those things? Like, how is your dad viewing this series?
So, if there is any other team I hate after Australia, it is England, obviously.
Wow.
Right? I mean,
Okay.
there is so much joy in watching England, capitulate and disintegrate and mentally, go to shit. And that is why my favorite is always watching the Ashes. Because whoever wins, whoever loses, it is paisa vasool for me. I enjoy it. 2005 Ashes, I loved it. Every Ash, I loved it. So that is why Ashes has always been my favorite thing. It is not India, England, Australia. Ashes is what I live for. So after talking about my most favorite team, Australia, now I'll talk about my most favorite team, England. This is not a team. This is a
Not
team. This is a comedy. This thing of like how you will have in the back in the day you had these music orchestras, no, and then beach may you'll get some mimicry artist because the lead singer needs to take a chai break or something. That is what England is. In the
England is
entire
Brahmanandam.
WTC. No,
Okay.
in the WTC they are that mimicry artist just to give some comic relief when all other things are happening. That is what this team is. And only thing is right now, and what this man Josh Tongue, it seems.
If you're discussing One second. If you're discussing names, we should start with the name of the trophy, which has changed.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Right. That is where we should
Yeah,
discuss the
this is
absurdity of
important.
that.
This is
name.
important.
This is very
Tell.
important.
What-
Okay.
what
The
is the
new
name of the
name of
trophy?
the trophy, which used to be called the Patodi Trophy, it used to be called the Patodi Trophy, is now TAT, which is the Tendulkar Anderson Trophy.
And on that note, thank you very much for this episode.
Show us your tits, we'll give you tat.
Thank you.
No, but I think there is still a thing. They want to call the player of the tournament as still as the Pataudi player of the tournament or something like that. They still want to keep the name of Pataudi in some connection with the thing, but they want to change the name because they want to have more relevant greats. Relevant, okay. Great, how you are putting Anderson?
Who else will you put, man? He turns up for T20 after some 30 years of not turning up for Lancashire, and he's taking 3-4s for fun. Some 3-4s he's taken.
Hello, Lancashire news, you ask me, boss. I will tell you Lancashire news. Okay. RSS feed of Lancashire I'm having. Not only taking wickets for Lancashire, guys. Last 10 years of my life, I didn't realize that this format could be so much fun, it seems. Arey, ghanta kaun bola tere ko nahi khelne ko?
Okay, great.
No, but seriously, Bisi, what is the bowling attack of the team? You have
They have a
Atkinson.
squad. Wait 1 second. They have
They have
squad.
squad.
They have declared squad already. Wait.
We have also declared squad, as if they have declared playing 11 you're talking.
It's as good as playing 11. I'll tell you. Where is that bowling?
Declared squad.
Sam Cook, Josh Tung, Shoaib Bashir. Death only for you. And Jamie Overton. Finished.
Wait, is Sam Cook son of Alistair Cook?
No.
Okay.
Nice try.
I don't know, man. All these guys are like that. Yeah, but come on. Overton, Josh Tung, this is okay.
These are the kind of bowlers India will struggle against. It will be seaming around on day one. It will be overcast at Headingley. I do not see how anyone other than KL Rahul or Karun Nair has the technique to withstand all this. No ways.
So, how Karun Nair's stock has suddenly risen like Nvidia here? What is this?
Because he
Karun
went
Nair
to gym with PGK. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, PGK is here.
What more does one have to do for one stock to go up? A person has done great
But
stuff.
PGK, more importantly,
No,
tell us gym
he is
updates.
done.
Has
He's
gym
done good
updated?
to get into the squad. But Bisi is like saying that he's our only hope along with KL Rahul means. Then I was like, okay, we are like, yes, leapfrog Prince.
Of course he has.
Leapfrog Prince and Jazz and everyone else. PGK, please put some light.
Say what? What do you want me to
Tell
say?
us Indranagar updates. Has Jim updated jersey number from 69 to 89? Which is
No, it hasn't. So actually in my gym, it still has. So there are jerseys over there. I'll tell you the jerseys, okay? And you'll think these are all really weird and made up, but I'll explain. One jersey is MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni, those jerseys on the wall. Another
that
jersey
is made up. I agree.
No, it's not made up. One second. The other jersey is Karun Nair. Okay. Other jersey signed is this one, Chris Gale, right? Another jersey signed on another floor on top is Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya's jersey is there. And the last one, and I swear this is true, is a jersey of the gym, which is signed by Rajinikanth. Okay. And there is a photo of Rajinikanth there. Okay. Which is like, again, like it comes back to the meme, right? Which is that Rajinikanth does not sign India jerseys. Rajinikanth signs random jersey. And you put Rajinikanth there. Okay. I'll take a photo sometime and show it to you. But yes.
Like, what sort of gym is this? Gym generally has photos of Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Sanjay Dutt, and all that. What cricket jerseys and all arriving in a gym? Is this even a gym? Are you even a journalist? Like, what is this?
I will say that everyone was very happy when RCB won, but yes. No, but I think but the other thing, is that there is also this weird problem where because England's bowlers are so fuck all, even if India's batters do well, one or two of them, you can't really tell anything. Right? Against this attack, if Shubman Gill fails, then I think we have big problems, I would say.
Yeah, but because our friends, the selectors, have done the heavy lifting, let us just call out India's batting lineup. It looks like mostly Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul, I'm guessing Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill, Karun Nair, Rishabh Pant, and then the all-rounders, and then Bumrah, Siraj, and etc.
Yeah.
What's
I mean, this sounds reasonable because it keeps the whole left-right nonsense, and we know that Gambhir is a big believer in that nonsense. So we'll see.
So Sai Sudarshan is basic. Oh, this doesn't have Karun Nair though.
No, it does have Karun Nair. Karun Nair is at 5.
4.
Okay, Karun Nair, fine.
5.
We shall see. Who is not there is Sarfaraz.
Who's not there is Sarfaraz. I think Sarfaraz is not there.
Shard.
Yeah, Ishwaran plays if one of the two openers gets injured. I guess. Otherwise, I don't know. Will they play him at 3?
They have added one of those all-rounders into the squad also, Dhanush Kotian, on the back of
They've
how he
added-
played for India. They've added him to the squad
Yeah.
because he scored a century in the India game against.
So there is
England.
Nitish Kumar Reddy, there is Kotian, there is Shardul Thakur, there is, I don't know, bunch of these people.
Washi.
Whatever.
Wash.
Where
Washi
is
is
Wash?
also there. Washi is also
Washna.
there.
Washna is there. Washi is
Because
only
Bumrah
there in
can't
the
bowl
team.
Yorkers to him.
Washi, Washi is only in the team to simulate them facing Shoaib Bashir. So he will come and bowl right arm garbage so that they can get ready to face Shoaib Bashir. That is the
Okay.
only thing. But Bisi, more
Yes.
again, sorry, I'm going back to my favorite team. You forgot the proper bowlers in the team, man. Chris Wokes is there. Bryden Carsey is there.
Proper, no?
Proper bowlers.
Those guys are enough for us. This Cook
Hey,
tongue and all
Wokes will
useless.
score 100 at Lords for sure.
Yeah.
Nice
Wokes will
fellow.
score with the bat. Wokes in that practice game also took wickets.
Is
Yeah.
Sam
That
Curran
ATM
part of
holding-
the squad or no? Otherwise, they should add
He is,
him.
he is,
Because,
he is.
like,
Yeah,
He is,
yeah,
he
yeah.
is.
Sam Curran is not there, but his fellow CSK mate Jamie Orton is there.
okay. Anyway, next week we shall come back. But it's been 82 minutes recorded, guys. Do you want to talk about
Anyone wants to predict?
the-
Anyone wants to predict outcome of series?
No.
Please. It is always fun. I love it.
man?
Come on. Let's hear it. I think it'll be 3-2 to India.
3-2 to India.
Yeah.
Nice.
No
Yeah.
chance.
Chalo,
I
chalo.
think
3 to India. ले लो.
no chance.
ले लिया।
I think
खैरात में बांट रहे हैं ना, तुम्हारी माँ की शादी है ना, ले लो.
ले
I think
लिया।
what is this? I think 3-1
3-2 it
to
seems.
England.
Yeah,
to England.
yeah. I think 3-2 to England. 4-1 to England. One of those.
Yeah. Does anyone know that when Gautam Gambhir is not there with the team right now because he has gone on a
He has
family
a
emergency?
family
Do
emergency.
you know who is now overseeing the Indian team?
Oh,
like when
it's not
when
Lakshman.
Pitcher is away. It is
Markel.
Lakshman. So Lakshman is now overseeing the Indian team.
Wait, Lakshman has flown in now.
I don't know if he was flown in, but he was there.
Always,
No, I thought Markel
Understood.
was looking over after. No,
No,
Markel
it's
is
Lakshman.
bowling. I'm sure they're going to some Tirupati temple in Leeds right now. It's okay.
Okay, guys. Does anyone want to talk about TNPL or can we wind up?
Hey,
I
enough.
think we
about
can
that.
wind up.
I have to also bounce.
TNPL is done.
no, we should not talk about TNPL, but I think we should have that video at least maybe in the show notes or something.
Give
wherein,
some
like,
context. So
like, this
Nitin
has
can put
this
on
has
the video.
happened to
Tell.
this has happened to me. Okay, I will talk about it. Yeah, this has happened to me in in our local club cricket. It has also happened in the greatest club tournament, that is the Euro Cricket League. But seeing it in the TNPL was validation that this is not an overseas problem. This is a domestic problem as well. So what happens is that batsman plays the ball to covers or something, and then there is a fielder, very athletic fielder, who scoops it up and hurls in a torpedo that misses the stumps by a good 7 feet. And so much so that the fielder backing up also is aghast, and there's an overthrow. Okay, that guy now has to make up, and because the thrower of the said torpedo was the captain of his team, he has to show up that no, it's not that I missed it. Even though I missed it, I'm going to still get your wicket. He tries a shy at the other end. He fires another torpedo. The keeper is at the stumps, but this also goes another 3 feet away because he is trying to mimic how his great captain did it. So now there is another one. It has gone to third man. Guy from third man fires it in. It goes towards the bowler, but the bowler also misses it. And again, now it has gone to mid-on. In this whole melee, 4 runs have been taken. And the great captain, the athletic, charismatic captain, mentor, coach, podcaster, YouTuber, Ashwin has his hands on his hips and a look of complete, disgust within himself.
Hips
his
don't
team,
lie.
and the-
Flummoxed.
bewildered, puzzled, by his team and his abilities in this great tournament called the TNPL. It is lovely, and I think if we can put Benny Hill BGM to that, I think that is perfect for it. That if ever there was a cricket sequence where the Benny Hill music would work, I think it is this moment.
Yay. No comments.
Sure.
I can't believe it took so long to mention the most important happenings of cricket of this week to be discussed on our episode. There you
Wonderful.
go.
Okay, guys, on that note, I think we should call an end to episode 170 of Bits and Pieces, which will now be more active now that India, England, and more importantly, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh is kicking off. I will
Angelo
be back
Matthews
with
playing his final test, guys. Angelo Matthews is about to retire. Colossus in the
Sure.
cerebral colossus.
Why final test? Is it just like a one-off test, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh?
No.
I'm guessing it's
This is Angelo Matthews' final test. He's retiring after the first test. They have to
after
two
one
tests.
test. Oh, just for
Yeah.
guard of honor.
Correct. Unlike
Wait,
some
wait,
people.
Can we just one second, roll it back and say first India test against England, Kohli and Rohit Sharma will be there to receive guard of honor, but not R
Nice.
Ashwin. But not R Ashwin because
Kohli
He's
will be there.
busy.
Kohli will be in the spectators, so that we know.
Vicinity,
He'll
yeah,
take a
yeah.
nice walk and come.
like AB de Villiers, that one. Okay, cool.
Correct.
All right.
Okay, call it.
That's episode 170 of Bits and Pieces. Please come back and share with your friends because we're going to be more active, funnier, hopefully, and more updated on the happenings in the cricket world. We are not a post-cricket podcast yet. So thank you for tuning in. See you back again next week. Until then, this is Tony, MRF Prince, PGK, Temba Bavuma, Bisi, and Max saying bye. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.